out with a round of applause.
Good morning once again. All right, please, let's be on our feet. So we'll be singing the national anthem first, then the school anthem. National anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be our symbol that truth and justice reign in peace or battle honor, and this we count as gain. To hand on to our children a banner without space. Oh God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
Making Africa a tech continent, one mind at a time.
All protocols duly observed. Thank you very much. I'd like to welcome the presence of our director at SQI College of ICT, the person of Dr. Adeyemi C. Aderinto. A round of applause for him, please. Also, I'd like to welcome the rector of SQI College of ICT, Dr. Adegbenro S. Ajani, who will be joining us shortly. I'd like to welcome our guest speaker, Ms. Olamide Alao Akala. You're welcome, ma. Today in the house, we have not one, not two, not three, but 6 other campuses joining us live. A round of applause for them as well. Campuses in Osun State, in Abeokuta, in Ibadan. And also a final round of applause for the audience that we have here. You deserve it. Welcome once again to MindTalk. I've personally attended over 30 MindTalks, and every single time I'm here, it feels like it's my first one. And that's because I always learn a new thing. Speaking of learning a new thing, I hope we have our jotters ready today. If you don't have one, pick it out right now. your jotter, or your note-taking app on your phone. Anyone you're more comfortable with. Can we do that right now? Just a couple of seconds. Because you're going to be learning a lot today. I learned a lot from the last MindTalk session. It was on the cyber threat evolution. And if there is one thing that I can never forget from that session, is that, who can mention what that one thing is? If somebody should ask you if you are safe, what do you tell them? You tell them they are safe for now. And that's very important because of the kind of world we live in. The world is becoming a little bit more unsecure digitally. And so it is important we learn how to protect ourselves. For example, a recent scam happened in Hong Kong. So imagine this. You're the financial manager. You keep all the money. And then your boss calls you over a video call alongside other bosses. And then they say, transfer $25 million. Of course, your boss calls you. You definitely respond. Only to discover that it was a deep fake. Your boss never really called you. And every single thing was AI generated. Yes. True life story, by the way. So it's important that we learn how to protect ourselves in this current world and time that we are in. And so if you missed the last MindTalk edition and you don't know if you have been pawned, very important, you should ensure that you watch the last edition of MindTalk. It's on our YouTube channel at SQI Studios. However, we're going to be moving into another topic today, and it's a very important topic to all of us all. Who here does not eat food? Today's topic is on the future of food production, trends, and innovation. And as a round-off, I'd like to welcome the charismatic and elegant Miss Mercy Ajibade to take over. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Shea Odekomaya, for that beautiful welcome speech. Another round of applause for Mr. Shea. All right, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you once again to MindTalk. Thank you so much for choosing to spend your Monday with us. It's so nice to have you here today. Now, I would also like to welcome all our campuses joining us. Oshogbo campus, we welcome you. Thank you so much for joining us. Digwe campus, SQI Digwe campus, SQI Iwo Road campus, SQI Challenge campus, SQI Abeokuta campus, and SQI Main campus. And yes, SQI Virtual Campus. And to all our online attendees, our physical attendees who are not even our students, we are so glad to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. And I think you deserve a round of applause. Thank you. So, just in case you're new here, you might be wondering what MindTalk is all about. I know that this question is going to pop up in your mind. We know that this question is going to pop up in your mind, and we've created something for you that you need to watch in the next 3 minutes. So it talks about how MindTalk came into existence, when MindTalk came into existence, and how it all began. So in the next few seconds, we will be listening to why we have MindTalk. But in the meantime, I would like you to look at your neighbor and tell your neighbor, welcome to MindTalk. Tell your neighbor, today is going to be different. Today is going to be different. All right, thank you very much. Thank you. What do you say? Is there food? Hello, Foko Valley. Yes. All right, all right, all right. So are we having that now? Okay. So, if you can remember what you learned in the last MindTalk, I need just one person. Hello? Okay, thank you. Before this is being played, thank you. Please come forward. So we'll be sharing with us what he learned at the last MindTalk. Please, let's welcome with a round of applause. And don't stop until he gets here.
Was carried out, and it was discovered that although 100% of students attended classes, equipped with the same tools, taught by the same instructors in the same conducive environment. Yet, their success rates vary significantly after their studies. It was then discovered that secret to success wasn't just in the mastery of skills. It is deeply rooted in the excellence of character, unwavering dedication, and consistent effort. And thus, MindTalk was born. In 2018, MindTalk started at SQI College of ICT in order to increase not only the percentage rate of student success, but also imbibe students with excellent character through effective communication, emotional intelligence, adaptability, teamwork, problem-solving skills, time management, leadership, conflict resolution, work ethics, networking, consistency, empathy, confidence, resilience, excellence, integrity, discipline, accountability, positivity, and curiosity. At MindTalk, we envision a future where every student isn't just academically empowered but undergoes a transformative journey that enriches every facet of their lives. And our vision is to be a guiding force, fostering holistic development and creating a community where students emerge as resilient, socially conscious, and enterprising individuals. This is MindTalk.
I hope you all very much. So right now, we are going to have a brief book evaluation from Ayodeji Oyebanji. Please, let's welcome Ayodeji Oyebanji from the book team, MindTalk book team. You can do better. Thank you.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to MindTalk. Welcome to MindTalk. Yes, book review. Few months ago, we started this session at MindTalk. And the reason why we started it is for us to be able to equip ourselves and for us to learn and be able to communicate, right? And then we started taking book, we started reading book, and today is the 10th month of us reading book. We have been able to read a lot of books, and last month we started Why Nations Fail. And we were able to dive into chapter 1 to 5 of Why Nations Fail. But today, we'll continue from chapter 6 to chapter 10. That is, we'll be exploring it, the reason why nations fail. How many of us have actually been able to see some countries doing very well, and why some other countries seem struggling? Okay, let me try to paint a picture for us. In US, there's a small town called Nogales, Arizona. And in Mexico, there's another another city called Nogales tribe. That is, Arizona and the other town are beside each other. US is a country, while Mexico is right beside US. And then these two towns, when you look into their projection, you are able to see that town inside US doing very well. The first Nogales, let's call it country A. Why the other town in Mexico that is beside the town in US called country B? And when we try to explore the two cities, we are able to discover that the one in US seems to strive better. Are you with me? And the other one in Mexico tend to struggle. and they are right beside each other. Even it's just a line that actually differentiates the two terms. And the book was able to tell us that sometimes leadership can be the cause of the cause why some nation try to struggle. Are you with me? Now, there are some leaders that are able to build a kind of a system where they put people as a priority. Are you with me? And some others, they are not willing to build a structure where people can even strive. Are you with me? While I was reading this book, there's a part of scripture that came to my mind. They said, the race is not to the swift. Do you agree with me? That is, your country can have as much as possible natural resources, and your country will not still develop. Are you with me? And you will still be struggling. You'll be like, okay, my country is having this. You can have gold, you can have diamond in a city, and the city can continue to be struggling to catch up. Why the other that seems to have not little to nothing, and they are able to harness that their own human resources. Are you with me? And you see them growing. The difference between the two is what? Leadership. One, build inclusive leadership where everybody in the community hold their leaders accountable. And the other, build extractive community where the leaders created two parties. 20% are in elite class they actually use the resources that is meant for everybody to benefit those 20%. And they call the other part, which are 80%, the masses. Can you imagine? They call them what? The masses. That is, they are even much compared to people in the elite class. All they know how to do is to make policies that only benefit them. They are not willing to make policy that will make everybody in the community to strive. At some point in this book, something now happened where people in developed country were not so comfortable with how things are going. So they decided to say, okay, we are going to change the narrative. We are going to create a structure called democracy. Now, they now came together to form democracy. And the definition of democracy is what? The government of the what? The government of the people, by the and for the people. Remember, how many times do you call people there? 3 times. That is, it's meant for us, not for a particular set of people, even though they are even people. But it is meant for everybody. Now, they created that government. As I used to say, you see government as a boss. Just imagine a bus. We have an 18-seater bus. And everybody enter. Let's say 18-seater bus, 18 people will actually enter the bus now. And somebody in the bus said, okay, I'm going to Ilorin. And that person said, I'm going to, give me town now. I'm going to Gambari. I'm going to Lagos. You know, all of them are not going to the same point. Now, by the time the drivers start the car and put the car in drive, can you predict what will happen? Confusion will happen. Now, what are we now trying to say? Now, those people now build a nation, I mean the extractive institution, they now build a nation where there is no vision. And there is a saying that says that when there is no vision, the people do what? The people perish. Then there is no vision. We don't know where we are going. We shall know that we are going. There is no accountability at all. There is nothing. And this democracy I'm talking about started in France. It started in France. Some people decide, okay, we are going to go with democracy. And it is working for them. Some people decide, okay, we are going to go for monarchy. And it is working for them. And I was able to even check democracy and monarchy. Are you with me? I'm able to check the two. Even people that are running monarchy seems to have a king. Okay, they do have a king, but they don't call their own king Kabiyosi. Are you with me? The thin line that separates them from people that are running a democracy is they are willing, they have the conscience that I need to do this thing right. So they are able to create an environment that everybody can even strive. You are able to progress as soon as possible. Then, Why Nations Fail was able to give us a lot of things. I won't be able to share it with us here. And the book says the origins of power, prosperity, and poverty. Are you with me? Now, we have been able to deal with chapter 1 to 10. And this month, we'll continue with the book from chapter 11 to 15. Are you with me? And this month, we realize some things. And we want to try as much as possible to correct it. We are planning to have a physical session, whereby we come here and discuss about our current book. Maybe once a month. We'll start it this month. Before the next Mind Talk, we are going to organize a session whereby we'll talk about this book and try to dive into it. And if you are interested, no, don't let me use that word. This is the link. This is the link to join. Yes, thank you for that word. You must be interested because you have to be interested. There are some conversations we need to have here that have to erupt here. Enough of building that up. Even when you build it, policy can kill it. Are you with me? Policy can kill it. Just imagine we have more leaders coming out of SQI. You can code very well, you can design very well, and then you are still up in the game of politics and everything. Are you with me? Now, you can join the link so that we can have a robust conversation about why nations fail. And I would like to remind us that book review comes up every Friday, 8 p.m. And I hope to see as many as possible this Friday. So it promises to be exciting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ayodeji Oyebanji. Another round of applause for Ayodeji. Thank you for hitting the nail on the head. I really appreciate that. All right, just like he said, this is actually very important for everyone to read. I know that some of you are having the intention of going into politics anytime from now, or let's say in the next 5, 10, you are just criticizing the people in power. I know that deep down, so yeah, I can hear some people. So yes, I know that you might have the intention of going into power, and laying a strong foundation for that future is actually very essential. So I would actually advise that everyone reads this book and join the book team of MindTalk. And yes, I would also like to appreciate the different arms that we have in MindTalk. First, I would like to appreciate the media team of MindTalk. A round of applause for them. The protocol team of MindTalk. A round of applause for them. The book team of MindTalk. A round of applause for them. And the general MindTalk team. Another round of applause for them. Thank you very much. All right, so it's right about time that we have our guests right here on stage. But before we do that, I would like to just take you a bit down the memory lane. A few years ago, I said this when we met at Morning Women Conference, that I was just scrolling through Instagram and I saw this woman who has value. So a few things fascinate me about people, right? I know that some people refer to me as being precautious and all of that, but I love it when I see women who are self-aware, who are receptive, who are intelligent, and women who love God. So those are the things that really attracted me to, and I'm like, I need to know more about this amazing woman. And as God would have it, right, we met some weeks ago, and then I got a precious gift from her that I have read over and over again, and I'm so glad that we are having here today. So let's give her a round of applause.
Olamide Alawo Akala is a beacon of entrepreneur spirit and agribusiness acumen. Born on July 1st, 1983 in Lagos, Nigeria, Olamide has cultivated a diverse and impactful career spanning authorship, motivational speaking, and agricultural innovation. Her educational journey began at the Home Science Association in Ikoyi, where she completed her primary education in 1992. Olamide's thirst for knowledge led her to the Federal Government Girls College in Oyo State, from which she graduated in 1999. She then acquired a diploma in law from the University of Jos in 2002 and further honed her academic prowess by earning a BSc in sociology from Bowen University in 2007. Her pursuit of excellence continued abroad, where she obtained an MSc in Human Resource Management from the University of Salford, England in 2009. In a continual quest for knowledge, Olamide recently completed a certificate course in Constructive Strategy at Harvard Business School online in 2023 and is on track to complete a PhD in International Agribusiness by 2025. She's an executive board member and audit committee chairman at Odoje Microfinance Bank since 2011, and her tenure as chairman of TDB Global Ventures with TDB Firms as a subsidiary ignited her passion for agriculture, leading to the founding of Imera Farms in 2020. Olamide is also an accomplished author of The Rich Christian in 2023 and Nice Strategies Business Startup Failed to Recognize in 2022. She also founded Umera Business School in 2022 and launched the annual Umera Boost Conference, graduating over 900 youths. Olamide Shubulade Alao Akala remains a testament to the transformative power of knowledge, the potential of agribusiness, and the far-reaching impact of visionary leadership. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome the powerful, beautiful, quintessential Olamide Shubulade Alao Akala.
Please don't stop clapping until she sits here. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are not sitting yet. I would also like to invite the director of SQI College of ICT, Dr. Adeyemi Aderito. All right. Now let's have our seats. Thank you. So we'll be having conversations about the topic, the future of food production, trends and innovation. And the director is going to lay the foundation for that.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Are you excited to be here once again? Yeah, let me hear that excitement. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Okay. And I think I'm more excited today because of the person we have on the program today is Olamide Alao Akala. That's a very powerful name in the house. Very, very powerful name in the house. Okay? Thank you so much for coming, man. Thank you so much. Yes, man. Now, since 2018, every greatness that we have been having on this platform always share with us the challenges, the obstacles, the things they have to battle to get to where they are today. And it seems everyone goes through the same trend to get to that peak of their mountain. I think today we found someone different. I think in your own case, everything just happens smoothly for you. You, like in your farm, you planted cashew, just grow with no stress. You have people that work for you, integrity. All these trailers that are blocking products, never block your trailer, just flee over. Please tell us we found you.
In fact, just like you have said, very easy.
Hey!
You know, I tell people that life is a battle. Life is hard. You just have to choose your hard. You either choose to succeed or you choose to fail. On the path of failure, very difficult. The path of success, also very difficult. So you choose one. And it is very important that you understand that. I like what you're doing, sir. I must commend you.
Thank you so much.
I did not know that. I did not know that we had something this big in Ogbomoso. I am so, in fact, the joy on the inside of me, you cannot understand.
Thank you, man.
I have had 1,000 thoughts sitting right there
my God.
of how we can do so many big things together to
Make that louder.
Because whether you like it or not, you can acquire skills, keep acquiring skills if you do not work on the mindset. If you do not go from a place of mediocrity to developing your mind, you cannot achieve anything in life. And people will just take advantage of your skills, and you'll be wondering, why did I even acquire these skills?
Wow.
So this is a wonderful platform. I must commend you.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful platform. And I must say that this is what I live for. I live to add value to the lives of young minds, to ensure that they take ownership of their minds and put it to great use. So I'm so happy to be here this morning.
Oh, wow.
Very happy to be here this
Excellent.
morning.
Awesome.
So there is no path in life that is easy. None at all. I know sometimes some people, when they're growing up, they look at. I remember when we were in secondary school. They will ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? When you're leaving from JS3 to SS1. You know? And because at JS3, that question determines what class you go into. So a lot of us were thinking, art class is very easy, so let's just pick arts. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be, you want to just do literature and just do English. You don't want to do physics, chemistry, and biology. But it's a lie. Because physics, chemistry, biology, difficult. Even literature, very difficult. Some people find it very difficult to understand the use of English and the likes in art class. So my point is, whatever trajectory, whatever path you want to pick in life, you just have to make sure that you're diligent, you are ready to face the odds and ready to be someone who solves problems. Because we live in a world with unending problems.
Okay.
So my path into agriculture, as not just agriculture, I've been into several other businesses, but agriculture being the main focal point, has been a rewarding but a very difficult path. I'm not saying this to scare you if you want to go into agriculture or go into any business. It's just the truth. He said, I found it easy with people. People are one of the most difficult. People are one of the most difficult to work with. Because you find out that you set up a business, you spend a lot of money trying to make sure that it works, and the people that you put in charge are ready to just ruin you at every point in time. Even when you try to do everything within your means to motivate them, intrinsic, extrinsic, everything, money, they will still want to ruin you, steal from you. So you just have to keep developing strategies along the line to make sure that you mitigate all of these things.
So you don't let that stop you.
You don't stop you.
You keep on finding solutions around it.
You keep on finding solutions around it. You keep on developing systems that would help you to beat. Because if you like, do all the thank you. We're even in an ICT place. If you like, have all the technology. They have a way to. I don't even understand how they do it. You said, okay, you have your inventory in place, you have this, you have that, you have cameras looking, and the human beings will still be human beings. They will still find a way to make sure that they steal from you or to break your system. And eventually it's not really the money that they even steal from you, but the fact that they're demoralizing, you're trying to add value to not just them, but to the society, to the community around you. And they look for ways to demoralize you. But you just have to, that is why places like this are very important. So that you don't think that you're the only one that is going through, or maybe when you are going to go through it, you don't think that it is something that is new. It has been happening. You put people on the farm, you plant cassava, and you go, before you know what's happening, you planted maybe 100 acres of cassava, they have stolen like 20 acres of the cassava. They will tell you, it was waterlogged. Water came, water was going to destroy it, blah, blah, blah. In fact, water destroyed it, but they've stolen from you. So you see, it's not easy. I don't think there's any business that can be easy. You open up a hospital, people want to steal from you. You open up a boutique, people will still steal from you. The other day I was going to Instagram, and this woman who sells, I think she sells bags, she has a very big business in Lagos, and then she has cameras everywhere, and they did not catch this lady. This lady had been stealing bags, been stealing clothes, been stealing everything. And, you know, she just suspected, because this girl was going home and her hoodie was looking heavy. You know, you know, these SQI hoodies that you guys are wearing. And then they just decided to check her, and they found like 3 bags under the hoodie. And you know the funny thing is, this woman provided accommodation for her staff. So they don't have to go through the rigorous of transportation. So they said, you know what, let's go to her apartment and check. And when they got there,
Oh my God.
goods worth over 1 million
The
naira.
supermarket
When,
itself.
I'm telling you, she was not even selling it, she was using them.
Oh my God.
And she was sending them to her parents too, because the sister said she had given my mom.
Oh.
So there is no way. There is, if you like, fast and pray.
Hey, it will still come. Oh my God. Oh.
So we have been there, we do it, we fast, we pray. Things like that will happen. That is on one side. On the other side, I like what the other guy was talking about if you like, build all the app, policy can destroy it in 1 second for you. It's very right. You can imagine trying to build a business, trying to make sure that, I mean, for everybody that has a business in Nigeria or in the world, is adding value to the community one way or the other.
Yes.
And then the government just wakes up one morning and comes up with one policy that does not just... Exactly. So I'll give you an example. There is no person who raises birds, who raises livestock that would not use corn. Corn is very important. We have arable land in Nigeria. Land that is going to waste. People are not using it. We can plant this corn and have excess of corn in Nigeria. But it's not happening. So in order to fulfill the demand that our market has, we have to import corn. We have to import corn. It's so sad. Every time I talk about it, I feel this pain. I don't know. We have to import corn. And then the government wakes up one day and says they are banning the importation of corn. You have not made provision. And then you come to ban the importation of corn. All of a sudden. And now you want to know that this banning of corn is not because they've made provision or because they're trying to sensitize people to go into farming or try to create a system that will regulate the price of corn in the market so that we can have access to corn. It's not that. It's simply because they want to politicize it. You remember what he said? 20% are making policies to benefit them. It's the same all over the world. It's the same in Nigeria. So they come up, they let you suffer for like 3 months without that corn. You are buying corn at exorbitant prices. And then all of a sudden they just say, okay, we have seen that we've met with the Poultry Association of Nigeria, we've met with this group, we've met with that group, and we can feel your pain. For now, we'll allow only 5 companies to bring in corn.
Hey.
Don't you see that this was the plan all along? This was the plan ab initio. But they just wanted you to suffer for it. So that when they now bring in those 5 companies that will give you the corn, you'll be appreciative.
Yes.
You will thank them. Now,
Yes.
look, corn is a multi-billion dollar, not naira, multi-billion dollar industry. So you can imagine 5 companies,
Sharing that.
just 5 companies supplying the whole of Nigeria corn. What do you think is going to happen to their pockets? That's why we need. I'm very happy that you guys are reading books like that because it will help your mind and it would impress something in you if by adventure you go into leadership positions that we need to do things differently as a nation. The reason why Indians can be flocking Ogbomosho and be going to our farms, to our farmers, and be buying our cashew nuts at ridiculous prices, and they don't even want us to add value to it. It's simply because there are no policies to protect us. Yes. There are no regulations to protect us. That is why an Indian man can come here and be renting warehouses, and we cannot do anything about it. I mean, I'm not saying they should not come and rent our warehouses or come and do business with us, but there should be some protection for the farmers. So when you talk about the future of food production, I mean, the future I see is not yet bright. It's very, very bleak. There are a lot of technologies that we can take advantage of to make the agricultural system a different, I mean, you go to countries that don't have anything, that don't have resources like we do, and you see them using AI robotics to determine which fruit is ripe, which is not, to shake trees and harvest produce. You see them.
Oh God, oh, that's a lot.
You see the sophistication, and we don't have it here, simply because we don't have an enabling environment. But I tell people, you will not allow that to deter you. You don't allow that to deter you. Every time in my company, I tell them, we will create our enabling environments.
Yes.
So you will find a way. It's just that this policy is just what we cannot handle. But we will find a way to make sure that we create an enabling environment for ourselves. The government does not supply you water. You have borrow here, right?
Yes.
That's step one. That's enabling environment. You are probably on generator.
No, solar powered.
Solar powered. You are off grid. Enabling environment. No, it's the truth. You have to just create an enabling environment for yourself. You can't own a big farm in the United States or in a developed country, and they will not think of how to give you power supply. They will not think of how to write up, credit notes for you to see how you can get John Deere tractors on your farm, and not even pay for the next 10 years and start paying me after 10 years. You can't walk up to a bank here in Nigeria and tell them you want to buy tractors and you won't pay for the next 5 years. Who will give you that? Because they see that you're adding value to the... Look, I've had people call me I was in a meeting last week with somebody from Fiji, and he was telling me to come to Fiji and set up a farm in Fiji. I said, Oga, Nigeria, we've not finished using the land. You're asking me to come to Fiji to come and set up a farm. He said, because the government will support you, madam. He said, by the time you lease just maybe 50 acres, and they see you doing something on it for the next 1 year, they will give you all the necessary funds you need. I said, seriously?
Hope you're not going.
I'm not going anywhere.
Please don't go yet.
I'm not going anywhere. But I'm just saying that it's not everybody that will make up their mind that they want to stay back when they see opportunities like that.
That is it.
It's not everybody.
That is just.
The man said, even if you don't want to plant, you want to do just a cattle ranch. We don't have so much of cattle in Fiji. If you come, they would give you resources. They will support you. They will back you up. Do we have that in our country? No. We don't. They're not even seeing you. They're not even looking for you. So let me not say they're not seeing you. They're not looking for you to seek you out to see how they can help you. The other day I got a letter from Federal Ministry of Agriculture that they want us to come and be a part of a meeting for agricultural stakeholders. They want to release their first draft, their first policy draft, and they see that, okay, Mara is a stakeholder, they want us to come and... Till today, they've not done that meeting. Till today, they've not done that meeting. So, I'm saying this because we are going to face a lot of setbacks, a lot of roadblocks. And we cannot allow those roadblocks to stop us. I know some of you, your future might not be here. It might be, some of you have come to learn ICT because you want to leave the country. I will not blame you, but when you leave, please remember Nigeria.
Please, so.
Please, no.
We better go.
Please remember Nigeria. Remember that you went through SQI. Remember that you went through Mr. Demeter's class. You remember that he's trying and he's doing something to make a change in this nation. And in whichever way that you can be a part of it, be a part of it. Even if you cannot be here physically, whatever it is that you can send back to support what is going on in Nigeria, send back and support. Because the more we continue to speak to the minds of the young people, we're bringing a change.
Yeah, yes.
We're bringing a change. I was telling someone the other day that if only the government can develop a leadership handbook that will be taught in schools. Because in the next 30 years, everyone you see at the 80 to 90% of people that are holding leadership positions will evaporate. The next 13 years, our president cannot be here. Whether we like it or not, he can't be here. In the next, look at some notable names. In the next 30 years, most of them can't be here. They can't.
New set.
So it will be a new set of people.
Yes.
What are we doing to prepare the new set of people?
Yes. What you are saying, with what you have been saying, I feel the battle is both from the top and from the bottom.
Yeah.
The government policy is choking you, and the people you try to put together for your farm also is choking.
Yeah.
So
it's a cultural problem.
Yes.
It's a cultural
problem that makes those people that when they eventually transit into power, the same spirit continues.
That's why I said, what are we doing with the people of today?
Now, I would like to ask you something, man. Looking at this environment, we are talking about trends and innovation. I believe you use innovation in your farm.
A little bit, yeah.
What are those character traits you look for when you want to engage people at work? Let me add this. I've met with a lot of CEOs that when we discuss to the extent that they have to show their account balance, I see something scary. I ask, why are you keeping that in the bank? Put it into a business. It will bless you and bless so many other people. And the next question that follows is, who will run it? And he will give at least 2 or 3 examples that he tried and almost crashed in. So I'd rather keep it in that bank. Now, if they had been bringing it out and investing, creating companies, somehow we don't have to work there. It will still impact us.
Yeah.
Because one way, dollar will fall. My smartphone, I will get it at a cheaper rate. So somehow I'm benefiting indirectly from that company. But now they are discouraged because who will run it? So if you're looking for someone that will run maybe an enterprise that you set up, what are the character traits you will be looking for?
Before I say that, I'll say this. If you set up a business and you are the alpha and omega of that business for a very long time, the business cannot grow. It cannot. Just before we started, you were saying hello to Ibadan branch, to Oshogbo branch, you understand? So that is to let you know that is a business that is growing. Because it's been able to develop people that would build those businesses. Now, for your kind of business, there are some certain kinds of business that will not work for.
Okay.
So, we were into laying of beds that lay eggs. We sell eggs. And you can't be at every business. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
Because that business will remain small.
Yes.
If you decide you want to stay there.
You have a shop.
And you will kill yourself with stress. So, I noticed that there was a lot of foul play going on at the farm. But in my bid to understand what was going on, I decided to increase the cameras that were there. Still nothing. But it just got to a point where I decided that enough was enough. You know? And I just went and I just told them I was going to deal with every single one of them. And then they started confessing. You know, when they tell you that there's mortality of birds, you believe that, okay, birds have died, maybe due to a sickness or something. But you find out that they are actually the ones killing the birds because they want to sell it. So if they tell you that there was 5 mortality today, and then one woman will come and buy the birds at 1,000 naira, they have made 5K off you. Can you imagine them making 5K every day off your business? Eventually, trying to find the right person to run that layer business was proving very difficult. I had to stop it.
You have to stop it.
Yes, I had to stop it. So you can never really find, you can never really see that this is what I'm looking for in a person and say you will find it, because people are very deceptive. So if you like, have all the interview skills. Somebody who is going to steal will not tell you that they will steal. They will come in form as a pastor. You know, because I had the pastor of a church running my farm. 3 different times, 3 different pastors.
You think if you
I didn't even know they were pastors when I was employing them, so it didn't really bother me, you understand?
Okay.
But they just came as, you know, it was the third one was after I found out that he was a pastor. I didn't even know he was a pastor. But I don't know why, but it's very, very difficult for you to find somebody that would be completely honest. I'm not saying they're not out there. They're out there. You can find. It's just difficult to find. And then you can also try to develop them. You know? And when we work with people, when people work with me directly, and I notice some traits that are not, I call them and I talk to them. See if they will change. Give them an opportunity to just develop. Yes, give them some mind talk. Give them an opportunity to develop on themselves and see how they can be better. And look, life, if you steal this, what difference does it make to your life? So sometimes when people ask me, what traits are you looking for? You can never tell the traits of a person the first time you're talking to them. You can only tell the traits of a person over time. And if the person doesn't work for you, if you realize that this person is not going to change, this person is going to damage your business, be quick to fire. Be quick to hire, be quick to fire.
I was told by a man that it's easier to hire, but it's more difficult for many leaders to fire.
It's not difficult for me.
It's not difficult. You show you perfect.
Let me tell you how I do it.
Yes.
Honestly, I can't call you to my face and say I fire you. Me too, I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
But I've developed a system around it.
Okay.
Once I see somebody that I want to fire, that I don't want to work with anymore, that's the job of the CEO. I'll just send her a message. This person needs to be gone.
That's your work.
That's your work. Get it, please. How you get it done? I don't know. Whether you quickly do a staff evaluation and say, "We're sorry, you don't fit into our system anymore." Whatever it is, the person needs to be gone.
Now, do you have? I believe you have some few persons that are exhibiting the kind of integrity.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes.
This kind of people, I want to believe we have them. We have them a lot at SQI as well. So if it's so difficult to find, and yet we still have some few, you know, if such things are common in Nigeria, and yet we still have some few that are just determined to do it in the right way, I think such a set of people ought to be appreciated.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh
Would
yes.
you mind appreciating them?
Yes.
Maybe
yes.
these are the people that are still keeping Nigeria breathing.
No, so
and keeping Mera breathing, and keeping SQI breathing.
Yes. We have the good ones. We have the good ones. And in fact, when the good ones tell me that they are going, it's sad. When the good ones want to jackpot, you know, it's very sad, because I've had a few good ones that left, you know, that said to go to the UK, Canada, and the likes.
Reverend Taiwo said something to me one day. He said, ẹni tí ó wúlò. Ọlọ́gbọ́n, thank you. You know, I wrote a letter to him to just help me find someone in his church, you know, for a particular task, and sent to me. Ẹ ṣeun, aṣiwèrè wúlò. And it was difficult for him to. So he said, it's not that we don't have in our church, but we too will need them. And some other people also want them. He now finished it with Ọlọ́gbọ́n nísinmi, aṣiwèrè wúlò. So there are so many people, but only few that all of us wants to engage. This is a lot. This is a lot.
When I pray, I think my prayer this morning, God, send me Joseph. Send me Joseph. Send me Joseph. Send me Joseph. I have been praying that prayer.
Take that prayer point.
I have been praying that prayer for over a month now. Say, God, please send me Joseph. I want Josephs. Send me Josephs. You know, because when you see successful businesses outside of this country, and it's not just by being a visionary.
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
Can't
it's
do
not.
it alone.
You need people.
That's it.
Business is all about people. It's all about people. It is people that would help you to build the structures and systems. It's people that would help you to develop your vision into reality. They are the ones that will execute it. And most times you find out that people who are visionaries cannot even execute.
That is it. Just catch the vision.
You understand? So you have to be able to cast the vision upon people.
And give it to people that can execute.
When you read Richard Branson's book and you ask him how he's been able to develop Virgin Mobile, Virgin Atlantic, Virgin Ships, Virgin Holidays, Virgin... And what he will just tell you is people.
That's it. You also have to
people. It's just people.
Oh my God.
So when you find the people that would be your Joseph, it's better to treat them like kings. What did Potiphar do?
Gave him the position.
He treated Joseph like a king. He came from prison to kingship.
So it's profitable. So to have integrity as well.
Oh yes.
Just stealing 5,000 naira per day, selling dead birds, cannot give you such kind of position.
It can.
Yeah, that's money with prestige, with authority. So it's even more prestige. It takes time. It's more profitable. So maybe if we are able to teach this, or maybe things like this that are more successful. So probably, like you said, leadership book, such kind of guides, if they are being taught to this generation, probably it might help our nation. It
will. You always have to think of how, in every position you find yourself, in every way you find yourself in life, you just have to think of how you can be excellent and do more that you've been given to do. That is how you discover. You do more that you've been given to do. If you do not do more that you've been given to do and said, they told me to do X, Y, Z and I've done X, Y, Z well. That's basic. It's basic. Joseph wasn't basic. The manager of the prison saw that this
one is different.
Is different.
Potiphar, different.
And then decided to put him in charge of all affairs in prison. So in everywhere you find yourself, anywhere, as a business owner, as whatever, do beyond what is required of you. Be different. Stand out. Let people wonder why. Is it only you?
Is it?
People have asked that question before, that is it only Lamide? And I had to ask myself to that, is it only people that you will not, in people that are very close to me, behind my back, is it only Lamide? And I had to sit down and reflect. Because this reflection was very deep. I had to appreciate myself. Because when you hear things like that, you want to wonder that maybe I'm not even good enough. Maybe they're just trying to Do you get? So I had to sit down and reflect and look at my journey. And look at the times I had gone to sit down. To look at the times when I was a Mary and not a Martha. You will hardly find me looking for. If you see me at a party, that party is important.
Yeah, I noticed that in your pictures. At some time you could be on the stage in the UK. The next one you are with a tractor hustling.
So it's yes. I mean, it's better for you to be a Mary. And I thought to myself, Lamide, you've been a Mary. If anybody comes up and say that is the only Lamide, ignore them.
I think I hand over to you at this point. Ask Mary questions.
Thank you so much, sir. A round of applause for that previous session. Thank you very much. All right, first, I would like to know how many women are here in this hall. So if you're a woman, just wave your hands. All right, beautiful. I'm glad that we are like a battalion. So this is what I'll be doing today. I'll be asking questions on behalf of us. Is it fine? Are you sure you want Mercy Ajibade to do that for you? All right.
How many men are
Nice one.
Are we support of the question?
Are we support? Are we support? Don't worry, to benefit you as well. So, I'll be asking you questions. This one I want to ask you is out of the curiosity of my heart, right? I know that you own Imera.
Yeah.
You own Imera Business School, and you are the convener of Imera Boost Conference, amongst other things. Mm-hmm. So I would like to ask, what's the idea behind Imera, and why did you choose to make Imera Business School a free business school?
Okay, so Imera Business School is not a free business school, first and foremost. But we can't just be profit-driven at all times, because it's not everyone that can afford what we have to offer sometimes. And that's the reason why we do the free skills acquisition every year. And we do it only in the month of September through to October. We round it up with the conference. And that is just our own way of giving back to the society, to make sure that, to make sure that we have our footprints, our imprint in the lives of people. That's just what Omera Business School, that's just what the Omera Boost is all about. So, for Omera as a whole, Omera is focused on helping people bring their dreams to life. Because I don't think there's anybody who has a dream of being a nobody. We all have a dream that we want to become somebody. It doesn't have to be like the Mark Zuckerberg of the world, but at least you just want to be significant in one way or the other. Everyone has that dream. And we are there to let you know that you can achieve that dream. Despite the difficulties that the world poses, is not new. Right from the beginning of time, there has been difficulties. Right from the word Adam, there have been difficulties. So we're just here to keep reminding you, because if you're not careful, people can completely fall into a space of total depression, and they might not be able to come back from it. So we have to keep reassuring them that, because I know that when I started my journey of self-development, which I think I started late, when I started my journey, I was like, so people can speak to my mind like this, and I'll be this motivated to do things, because I know that I wanted to do things differently. But when I started listening to great minds talk, my life took a different trajectory, and I believed that, okay, I can't pay it forward. You understand? So the mind is very tricky. It can play games with you. The mind can tell you that, who are you? Who is your father? Who is your mother? Where are you from? And you want to become somebody. It's just the mind, though. It's nothing else. It's just the mind. Who are you? You cannot even speak English. Do you want to know how many people are in Lagos that cannot speak English, that are making billions? And they're inviting them to conferences to come and speak. And they cannot speak English. Nobody cares about the English that you're speaking. What they care about is the results that you have. The results that you have. So that's the reason why we have Umera. So just to add value to lives. Even with the farm, we try every day to make sure that it is value addition. So that is what it's all about.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for that, Ma. Yes, a round of applause for that. All right. So I was listening to Tara Peladrotoye a few days ago on Instagram, and then she said some years ago when she started her career, a male friend asked her and said, if you're not married to Peladrotoye, will you be living this kind of life that you're living? Will your children be attending this kind of school that they're attending? Will you be living in this kind of house that you're living in? And then she said that question brought her to a place of thinking, how can women build economic power? Now, in the page 63 of the Rich Christian book, you talked about the Trinity of Wealth, which I will not be going into, right? But I know that you have the answer to this question because I read that book over and over and over again. So I would like to ask you, how can women build economic power as a single person and even after marriage?
Everything we've been talking about here since morning are the steps to making sure that you build economic power for yourselves. I was talking to a group of girls, and was it just about 4 days ago? I was asking them, if you know an auntie or a friend or a cousin or maybe your neighbor, just do you know anyone who his wife is always beating the husband is always beating the wife? I said, raise up your hand. And everybody, almost every woman, everybody raised up their hand. I know somebody that is always beating his wife. And and he's still beating that wife, and the wife has refused to leave that house. Do you know why she has refused to leave that house? Because she doesn't have anybody to provide for her and her children. So now, sometimes I'm very careful with the narrative of women empowerment, because some women are seeing it as, I have my own money, I'll do shakara. It's not about shakara. It's not. You see, when you have money, you're just a net contributor to the home. You're just a net contributor. You're a Proverbs 31 woman. You are just adding value to your husband. Because you're supposed to be a helpmate in the first place. And that is why you need that economic power. But also, it's also for you to be able to afford yourself the freedom to make decisions in times like that. Because you might decide that, okay, maybe I've married the most wonderful man, and then 2 years down the line, the man turned into a punching bag. There might be other reasons why he's doing that, but at least you can give him some form of space because you're empowered. If you're not empowered, you are stuck there. So anytime I have the opportunity to talk to a woman who is being battered by a man and says, I don't have any economic power to live, blah, blah, blah. And I say, okay, what if the man dies today? What will you do? Won't you do something with yourself? So we have also people that have lost their husbands and then they lost it all because they did not have any form of economic power. Every woman, every man, I don't like to segregate, both man and woman work. Understand the principles of work. Work and work diligently. And don't say, this one is not my passion. It says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it well, to the best of your ability, and do it diligently until you find. I was listening to T.D. Jakes one day, and it was an interview with him and Stephen Furtick, and he said his son asked him that, Daddy, this music I'm doing, what if it's not just the music? What if I'm going to waste my whole time in this school learning music? And the father said, no knowledge is a waste. No knowledge, no place that you have worked is a waste. Because it forms the experience and forms who you are as a person. None of it is a waste. Because you will find it useful wherever you find yourself. So in the doing, whatever your hand finds to do, you will stumble on whatever it is that God has assigned you to do. And when that question that they asked her if Fela was. The question is the answer to that question is two-sided. I'll say this: the husband you choose or the wife you choose will determine how far you go in life. There's no two way about it, because spousal disagreements can weigh down your mental health. Even for men, you see, men bottle up a lot of things. They cannot talk. They don't like to talk. So if they're going through a lot with the woman at home, it affects their productivity. Same with women too. It affects their productivity. So it affects, if your mind is boggled with what you're going on at home, how do you get new visions? How do you get new ideas? When Mr. Denton started SQI, he must have started from a point. The point at which he is today is not what he started with in his mind. It's progressive. Every vision must be progressive. Every vision must be progressive. So if you get to a point where you're doing this business, it's doing well, and then all of a sudden you're having marital problems at home, there's no how that vision will progress. You'll just be stuck on one level. So it's very important. Now, the second side to answer that question is to thyself and be very self-aware. You have to be self-aware and you have to be able to evaluate your life. If you are in a relationship and you realize that this relationship is going nowhere. I remember when I started my Christian journey, there was this book I wanted to read, and the first page of that book was, if your spouse is going to stop you from achieving your vision, divorce that spouse. I threw that book away. I can't even remember the name of the book. I can't even remember the name of the book. But with hindsight now, the guy is very right. I know they teach, I'm trying to be careful here. I know they teach you in the churches that divorce is bad. Divorce is, it has become a pandemic in our society. That is why it is very important that you choose. I want to believe that 99% of people in this room are not married. That is why it is very important that you choose right. Because love will fade. The ideals will still be there though. So you want to look at the ideals of this partner and be very careful in picking that partner. I wish I was told this when I was younger. Because the signs are always there. The person is not a bad person, and you are not a bad person. But you guys, value clash. Different value systems. If they're not aligning, if they are clashing all the time, there's no way it's going to work. There's no way it's going to work.
Maybe you will come back, man. You will come back. Thank you so much. I used to tell my children, as young as they are, go and fall in love. You can stand while in love. Why must you fall?
I like that.
So, because I believe that falling is when your eyes become blind.
You don't think.
Yeah, be in love and still be standing, be thinking. So I think that's what you just said.
Yeah.
I think we have been told, because this thing can affect every area of our lives. So I'm sorry for.
So you need to know when to say, okay, this marriage is not working. This marriage is, and this person has refused to change. If this person is not teachable, or this person is not teachable, step aside and focus on your life. And your children can still have that education. They can still travel. You can still live in that house. You can still do all the things that you need to do for yourself without that person, until maybe you find the right person that you want to be with. And you can decide to wait and see maybe the person, maybe after 10 years will come back to you, or 20 years, and see if the person has changed and would appreciate you better. But marry right. Marry right. Marry right. If the person is just getting angry over nonsense, over just any, and you just find, well, any small thing, don't vex. Run, oh. It's the truth. Run. He doesn't like to come home on time. Maybe she doesn't like to come home on time. 9 o'clock, they are still outside. 10 o'clock, they still want to be hanging out with friends. Somebody who prefers the company of friends to your company is not a spouse. So
Yes, ma.
no, is it true?
Don't worry, I'm not taking this personal.
Because
Don't worry.
you want somebody who prefers the company of friends to you is not a spouse. Because who should be the closest person to you? The person that you come home to and come and tell about.
Yes, ma.
Because when you fall in love.
All right. Thank you so much for that, ma. So the second question on my mind is that after this topic was picked,
You asked Omera. You
Yes,
asked
that's-
Feladro to
that's true.
This is the third one.
Yeah, this is the third one. After this, I have one last question.
Okay.
So the third one is that after this topic was picked, I was having a conversation with the director, and I remember I said that we trace the history of food production back to our grandfather days. It's more of a male-dominated field. I may be wrong.
Okay.
Right. So I feel like grandfathers, great-grandfathers, they go to the farm, get all those things done. The women are at home making food and all of that. So I was just curious, how are you able to excel in a male-dominated field? Because I must agree, accept that you are a light and you're such a shining light in your field. So, and even in all that you do. So how are you able to excel in what people regard as a male-dominated field, which is food production?
There is him to be 20 to 80. And even the 20, most likely not complete. By the time we try to find out, why are you not coming again? Programming is sweet. I said I've started learning, catering. So if you can do it in a male-dominated field in agriculture, maybe that can help people here too.
So it's programming. That's just it's programming. So first and foremost, I'll say this: it's an assumption that agriculture is male-dominated. If you go to the farm, because I go to the farm a lot, you see a lot of women in the farm. Now, are they educated women? No. But there are lots of women in the farm farming. For the men that you see, for every man that you see, most of them are even marrying 4 or 5 wives because of agriculture. Back in the days that you were mentioning, some of them are marrying 5 women, not because they are in love with them, it's because they need more hands on the farm. And the women, because they say that the women do a lot of work, they take them to the farm. Why did I say programming? Women have been programmed to take the back seat. So when these women go to the farm with their husband is in front as the farm owner, but the women are the ones doing the work, most of the work. So that is why she doesn't see herself as a farmer. She sees herself as somebody who has gone to help her husband. And when she gets back home, she goes to cook. So it has been programmed in our brains unconsciously. It's an unconscious bias. Right from childhood, you have to take care of the home. A woman is set to take care of the home. Even when you have an eldest daughter, you've already turning the eldest daughter into small mommy. Say, okay. No, seriously, you don't, apart from the fact that they can take care of the home, they can also function in other areas of life. So they are programmed to think fashion, programmed to think catering, programmed to, and these are things that even men can do as well. They are programmed to think of the lesser jobs. But let me not even call them lesser jobs. They're just some roles that have just been assigned to women. And women just believe that that is the role they need to thrive in. And we need more women to break out from that cocoon. There are a lot of Nigerian women outside of the country that are thriving in the ICT space. You see them saying they're doing, in fact, somebody almost got me into doing service now. You understand? I'm like, I told her she's my cousin. I said, I can't. It's not just me. but she's so ingrained into Scrum, Service Now, as in IT as a service, I think, and stuff like that. And there's so many women that are training other women in America. So many women training other women in America how to get involved in the IT space and how to make money in the IT space. And you see that the numbers of men that are going into that space, even in America, Nigerian men, are declining because they cannot even understand. Women, you're lucky. Because whatever you decide that you want to do, you do it effectively. I don't know, I think it's more difficult for men at the age of 35 upward to say, I want to pivot into a new thing. I think it takes a lot. Yeah, not just mental calculation. Yeah, mental calculation, but also what's ikpino in English? A decision. I want something deeper than decision. Yeah, like a resolution, like a revelation. Like, I want to do this and I would do. Like, then you have a bulldog determination towards it. So, women, you can achieve anything. My getting into agriculture wasn't because I saw that there were lesser women there. I am somebody who is so lucky. I'm lucky in the sense that I wasn't programmed as a child. I wasn't programmed as a child that there's a role for women. In my house, my father treated me like a guy. My father would have discussions with me, important discussions, national discussions. When you have children, don't segregate. My father would discuss important things with me. I was always looking forward to him coming home from work. And things that were beyond me, he was discussing with me. So that made me, it's unconscious. So that made me strong. And that made me believe that I could achieve anything that I wanted to achieve. If today I decide that I want to come into IT, I will excel. Because I know it's just the mind. That's why I love this platform, MindTalk. It's just the mind. It's just the mind. I'm doing my PhD right now in agribusiness, and I did a paper on blockchain technology. So when I was doing that paper, when I was doing my research and all that on blockchain, I was so fascinated by the way agricultural produce could be traced for the sake of transparency and efficiency. So I was intrigued by it. I was almost going to say, okay, I need to find a way to invest in blockchain technology. But then I spoke to my brain again. I said, Nigeria will Nigeria you. You understand? But because, Nigeria is so green. There are so many opportunities here. When it comes to blockchain technology, we're not doing anything. And we export a lot of our foods, a lot of our cash crops. And these people that are buying from us, we are selling our cash crops at rubbish. I'm telling you. If we can just impute blockchain technology into what we are doing, and then we can see that this is where this food is coming from. If there's a company that can test our products before it leaves the shores of Nigeria and can impute the information of what we have harvested into a system. Don't let me confuse you. No, I can't confuse you. You guys are ICT now. Sorry. Into a system, and then there's traceability of those products. Do you know the amount of money we'll be making as a nation? But now, because they just feel Jankara markets, Nigeria is a Jankara market, let's just pack it. Everything is for mop-up. I'm telling you, all of our cash produce, mop-up. Our cocoa, they will mop it up. Our cashew, they will mop it up. Our palm, whatever it is that they want to mop up, they mop it up. They take it to their own country. Then they will go and start processing and adding value to it. And then the traceability can start from there. But why? But why? And then they will say made in. This let me even see where it's made in. They will not even write made, they will say packaged in. Let me see. They didn't write made in. They just put Great Britain Limited and their address. That's to just let you know that this was not made in Great Britain. This almonds was taken somewhere in Africa. So Nigeria is very green. You know you want to do blockchain. You can't. Don't let anybody say it's too big. You can start small and be, if you're a thought leader in that space, you can move mountains. You can. And I've seen somebody was studying something in food technology, and in artificial intelligence, robotics, food precision and all that. And he had written so many papers on it that he was invited to come and do a research in America. And this research is going to be used to create policies in America. So you can do it. If your country does not appreciate you, one other country will appreciate you. We have Nigerians that are not Nigerians that are playing Olympics for other countries. Yes. How many Americans have you seen doing Olympics for African countries?
We hope so. All right, thank you so much, Ma. So the final question for today, don't worry, you will clap. The final, I promise, is that you mentioned something. From me, yes sir, from me, sir. All right, sir. Final question from me. You mentioned something now that you're currently doing your PhD in agribusiness. Yeah. And here's one thing that I noticed. While going through, I went through your profile like a million times. Yes. Yeah, so while going through your profile, I realized that you never stopped learning since 1992. Right? You never stopped since primary school and all of that. Wow. It's either you are into this degree or you are into this online learning. And it reminds me of FFA, Funke Felix Adejuma, who went back to school to study law at age 60. So I would like to ask you, what is the driving force behind your never stop learning attitude?
So it has, can I even explain it? Where I'm going to, I can't stop learning. I can't, it's not possible. The world is evolving very fast and you have to evolve with it. If you do not evolve, you remain stagnant. You keep learning till the day you drop dead. Till the day you die, you can't get tired of learning. So learning for me is not a chore. It's not a chore. It has become a part of who I am. So you have to keep on thinking of new things. And my mentor used to say this, and in fact, it's something that I live by. You have to know something about everything. I know everything about something. You understand? Don't let anybody say, you have to talk about trade. No, you just have to have knowledge. So that when people are speaking, you can contribute. I want to believe that as we've sat down here today, we've touched on so many different areas. We've touched on marriage. We've touched on agriculture. We've touched on policies, government. We've touched on international matters. We've touched on several things. So you have to know something about everything. And the only way you can do that is by learning. Keep learning and learning and learning. One lady asked me a question at one gathering, said, for those of us that don't have the money to learn, I said, look, listen. Wherever your treasure is, your heart will be. Whatever you want your mind to focus on, it will focus on it. Look, all of you are doing Instagram. You are doing TikTok. What are you using to do it? Data, right? Yes. YouTube is free university. Yes. That's what I told her. So you either decide to follow the latest Ashwebi trend on Instagram, latest Ashwebi trend on TikTok, or latest comedy, whatever gist on TikTok, or you decide to do the 80-20 Pareto rule and focus more on learning and use the other one to just relieve stress.
It doesn't have to be within the four walls.
Exactly.
Of the school.
And with the way social media is these days, what you follow is what will follow you. People say there's a lot of nonsense on social media. There's nonsense. There's also quality.
Yes.
I open your explore page. If I open your explore page and I look at it, I can tell what you're looking at on Instagram. I can tell the kind of person you are the minute I open your explore page. So your phone is an environment. I tell people, your phone, that handheld device, the world is evolving. And unfortunately, and also fortunately, it has evolved into a space where we all have handheld media, handheld devices. So you either allow it to influence you positively or negatively. Pick your ad. Pick your ad.
All right. Thank you so much. Now that we have come to the end of this panel section, I noticed that some people have questions. And Director, sir, do you have any questions?
So begin to put together your questions. People from other campuses online, please, let's make sure someone is gathering those ones. We can only take few questions today. However, I want you to take note of some frequent words we've been using at the MindTalk. Without discussing, have we discussed anything before?
Nope.
I just met with you downstairs.
Exactly.
Like some
I didn't have your phone on.
You see now? We've never discussed before. Now she has mentioned some things we've been talking about at the MindTalk, like problems. You remember Dio? He was just shouting, I want problems. I want problems. You want to be great, be ready to solve problems. You stop looking for EPA and become the EPA. Then she mentioned excellence. As if, have you been watching MindTalk before? Maybe you've been doing that secretly. Can you imagine?
I didn't even know he was on. You said he's on YouTube, right?
Can you see that? So it's like a basic principle of success anywhere, everywhere. Then she mentioned another thing. Value integrity is just the same thing everywhere. Nothing changes.
They are principles.
They are principles.
So just
apply it and your space is sure. No questions.
A round of applause for that. All right, thank you very much. So we are going to be taking just a few questions, just a few, let's say 2 or 3. But I would like to give the mic to the rector.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Sam, thank you so much for this time we've had with you. Really enjoyed the meeting we had now. I want to thank your father, who is not here with us again. But I remembered in 2008, thereabouts, someone called me that Governor Akala, was it 20 now, 20, I can't remember. That Governor Akala was looking for somebody who had 2-1 in physics that he wants to send to China. And then they were looking at the Department of Physics in Lautech. They couldn't see anyone around, so they looked for me. I came around, even though the thing did not really work, but he wanted to send someone to China in an ICT and agricultural area. So I really want to thank that vision that you are able to continue with it, even though it didn't boost it out to everybody to see, but I can see that in you. Thank you so much for this vision of agriculture. In 2015, I had a dream, and then in my dream, I saw that many people are begging me for food. So in that dream, and when I woke up, I interpreted it myself with prayer, and that was what led me into farming. So I started, people that didn't know that I farm, that was the origin of my interest in farming per se. So I started farming. I have piggery, I have fishery, I have so many other crops and so many other part of farming. Even though I do some other white collar jobs around. Now, I don't want us to drift from the theme, which is the future of food production. When Lautech had crisis and some professor went to meet Governor Aregbesola, I thank you again for your father, who fought for the liberation of Lautech to be in Obomosho. And then we really want to thank the current administration who actually had that in paper. But I remember Governor Akala was the one who started this fight to make sure that Lautech is resident, permanently with Oyo State. Now, they went to meet Governor Aregbesola was not paying salaries and things like that, and then they went to meet Governor Aregbesola, the professors in Lautech, and in fact, they were there since morning, according to the story, and before they could see him, it was around midnight. Professors were seated, and when they saw him, they brought their problem, and he was just pointing to them, and he told them, what professor, which side of the professor are you, or things like that? What's your field? What's your discipline? One said electrical, and another one said agriculture. So I think this man was alive then, or Babaola Ifa, professor also, and he was pointing to him and said, since the day they have been making fufu from cassava, he said, what other things have you developed in Lautech? Or for us in Africa? That I grew up, met fufu, that was what my great grandfather had, and things like that. What have you contributed as professor? Is it just paper? And then he pointed to another one in chemistry, and he was asking them, and sincerely, those men, of course, couldn't talk. And he said, and you asked me to come and be funding this. Of course, he has his bias to that, but it was a challenge to me. It was a challenge to us, and that was why we have to take the issue of food production. Future computer cannot give us. You can't be hungry and say choosing. Then computer should bring out. Sorry. Then computer should bring out food and things like that. All right. So we still have to. After pressing all your, Mr. Yemi, thank you. Mr. Yemi is the head of our data science in SQI. Now, after putting all these things you put in your student head, in our heads, all these things you put in our heads, all this coding and things like that, you concatenate and things like that. Now, after that, you still feel hungry and feel like I still want to go and eat. What is the future for food production in Nigeria? Because the future is blinking, and if we are not careful, we might be driven to things that happen in Venezuela and some other countries. See the price of bread, see the price of anything, the way they are changing. Little money you have cannot even buy little food you need. So these are things we are facing. What is your encouragement? That everyone, apart from your white collar job or thereabout, how do you encourage us to go into this thing? And then so that we can at least produce for our immediate family or our neighborhood, so that we'll not be looking at the government and in that. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Looking across this room, I would like to say that, guys, whether you like it or not, are the future, not just for food production, but of Nigeria. And the future is actually now. It's not tomorrow. The future is here right with us. Everywhere I go and talk about agriculture, I say, I don't know why we have so changed our ideals in Nigeria to become so Western, where when you build a house, why must you put interlocking? What's the essence of the interlocking? You build a house, even if you go to the UK now, it's only the front of the house that is just paved so that you can park your car. By the time you get to the backyard of those people, it's a normal backyard. It's earth, it's green. I've been to people's houses in the UK that are raising chickens, planting okra, planting tomatoes, and the likes. So I'm wondering why we invented interlocking. And then we interlock the whole compound. Please, when you want to build your house, don't interlock the whole thing. In my house, I used to rear chickens. I grow F4, there's pawpaw. There's pawpaw, yes. There's pawpaw, and that's because I have a limited space. And because I stay in a rented apartment, in an estate. And the estate you're not allowed to rear stuff. So I had to stop. You're not allowed to rear any other thing apart from dogs. Even the little ones I did, the turkey. So it got to a point, I think they just sent me a message, Madam, your turkey is always flying onto the streets. You have to, so I had to stop rearing chickens in my house. You can start little by growing the food that you eat. It's not a big deal. There is nothing to it. You can buy sacks. You can even grow yam in your compound. But please, when you want to build your house, when I want to build my house, I've not built my dream house. When I want to build my house, I will not interlock the compound. I will only pave the way the car will go through and park. There will be garden. You have to understand that there's climate change going on. The air you breathe in is very important. The plants around you give you oxygen and improves your health. So it's better for you to have plants around you. Do we have plants in the house or not? I have live plants in my living room that we water. Yes. I have live plants in my living room. So you are the future. You can create solutions. Look, I didn't study agriculture in school, but you can imagine if I started the business of agriculture, maybe probably since I was 18, I would be in a different place today. I would be. But you guys are still very young and you have access to, to computer knowledge, to ICT knowledge that you can use to improve on our food production. By the way, they're using cassava to do so many things. They use cassava all over the world for food production. In order, they use it as alternatives for making foods. But the problem with us in Nigeria is that there is no, like I said, there's no traceability. So you cannot tell what kind of harmful fertilizers that has been used by the farmers, because they are not educated. So they don't know. We just allow people to bring in. I was telling my brother, I said, can you please pass a bill that would restrict the importation of some of these harmful fertilizers into our country? Because they use, these people are not educated. They go, they buy these fertilizers, they use them. The minute you use those fertilizers, you've altered quality, the quality of the product. And when any company wants to use that product, they will test it. And when they test and they see that it is not pure, they will not use it because of the integrity of their business and their product. So we need to be careful of the food that we even eat out there. Because some of these fertilizers, you just see some ewedu, you say, where do you look dull? That way that looks dull might be better than that one that looks very vibrant. So we need you guys to get involved. You guys are the future of it. Now we see that they're using all sorts. If you go online on TikTok and Instagram, you see many people using our foods to do different things now. There are a whole lot of people. Our food is evolving. Evolving very fast. Yes. People are doing all sorts. The other day I saw them using, my mom came home and she tried to make a pot of stew. And she put carrots, she put some leaves. I can't remember what other fruit. She put beetroots. She put a lot of fruits in the pepper. I'm like, Mommy, what are you doing? What the TikTok material? Try dungo. And she did it and it was very nice. And I'm like, you know what? It's the truth. When you go to all these foreign countries and you go to the restaurants, they will tell you you're eating carrot soup and kinikon soup, whatever. That's right. So we are evolving too. We are trying to use our foods to do other things. Before we didn't have sweet potato amala. Now we have sweet potato flour. We have people are developing things with our produce.
Wow. That's nice.
So and you can also innovate. Yes, innovation never ends.
Yes,
never ends.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Media, do we have any questions on YouTube? Okay, we are going to take just one question here today. We are so sorry. Our time is fast spent, so please come forward.
Good morning, everyone. It's Timidayo Olaye. And first and foremost, I want to say a very big thank you to SQI College of ICT for putting up this wonderful program. I do pray for moments like this to say I bless this day. It's a lot of things a clear mind can really achieve, and I've experienced today. But with this question I'm about to ask, sorry, So I was saying that there is a lot of things a clear mind can actually achieve. And I've actually received a lot of clarity today, but I think with this question, it will help me more. So my question is, at this stage of my life, I just completed my NYC last week. So, a lot of us like this, for youths like me, we tend to be confused on what next to do after this sort of period. So for me like this, there are 6 months from now. For me, I usually plan ahead. So 6 months from now, I already know what I want to do. But at this stage now, I have like 4 choices that I am thinking I will be able to make. So and one of them is going to the big business. And I think I've discussed with my dad here once before, and it was not something I was thinking, okay, I would do immediately. But as at a month now, it has been a pressing issue on my mind, in the sense that I'm thinking, if I don't do this now, going forward, I might not have the passion the way I'm having for it now. So my question is, what would be your advice for someone who wants to go into their business? Someone like me. I can't say I know anything, but then should I start now, or I wait till when I feel okay, this is the plan before I start later?
What's stopping you from starting now? What's stopping you from starting now?
Okay, because what's stopping me from starting now is the fact that I'm still not clear on what path to take. How do I start? Okay, I was speaking to some certain people, though they are not in the agri business. Someone was telling me I should either go for an internship or I seek a mentor.
That's a very good advice. But you should seek a mentor. They've made so many mistakes along the way. You want to avoid those mistakes. So seek a mentor. Let a mentor guide you. You know, speak to someone. This is what I want to do. And not necessarily in the agri space. But you can always find someone in the agri space to speak to. But also speak to somebody who is, you can speak to him, your daddy here. You know, he can guide you. Because, yes, I'll give you an example of why I say this. So I did processing once and I stopped it. Because I'm not, any business that I see that will remain small, has the capacity to remain small for a long time, I don't want to do it. So you have to have the long view and see that, okay, does this business that I'm doing, does it have a future? Are the things, the determinants of the business, the variables, can I control it or can't I control it? If it's something you cannot control, you want to step out. So I'll give an example. I was doing robo. I don't know if you know robo. They sell it in Iseyin. I went to Iseyin to learn how to do robo. I spent a lot of time. I was going to Iseyin for about a month to learn how to make robo with those women and to get the peanut oil. So I started making the robo. I was packaging it, beautifully packaged, and I was doing the peanut oil too. When it got to a point in the business where the price of the groundnut we were buying changed. The price changed ×3. So I'm wondering, I didn't put that into consideration when I started the business. The woman said, I now called the woman, only season. See, time I want season come what the price loss okay. The price will just go up, you know, and then it will come back down again. So I was thinking, okay, how can we control the price? There's nothing you can do about it. So, and I have decided to sell this robot at the barest minimum. You understand? So that 20 naira profit margin was fine because I was thinking it's FMCG, selling volume. But I realized that if I had to depend, that means I had to do backward integration. Maybe get involved with the farmers, and I wasn't ready to go to the north. To go and, because there's a different type of species that is used for the robo. You can't use all kinds of granules. Okay. So I sat down and I evaluated the business, and I realized that for me to continue processing, that means I have to be able to predict what the highest price of granite will ever be, okay, and then use it to give my robo a price point. But then I realized that I'll be competing unnecessarily with people who are bringing their price, are selling a nylon, who can sell their own 50 naira today and try to sell it 150 tomorrow. So there was no stability. So I tried to stop the business because there were variables that I could not control. So you want to have a short-term view and a long-term view into what you want to process. Who are going to be supplying me my raw materials? Okay. At what cost would they be supplying me these raw materials? How seasonal is this raw materials? Does the price skyrocket? Does it come down? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? So for some people, if it's an open market, you can survive it. When the price is high, we sell our produce high. Right now, a crate of egg is 5,500. Tomorrow, it can be 8,000. It can drop back to 7,000 again. It doesn't matter. Do you get? But for things like, for like the FMCG I wanted to do, it mattered. Do you get? So you have to look at the variables. Okay. I just gave an example. I hope that helps. Quickly, just. Yes, we do. But what you want to go into agro processing, right? You know what? Just chat me up. I'll have a 30-minute session with you, and that's it.
Thank you.
You can talk to him. Okay. I'll have a 30-minute session with you so we can banter.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And my round of applause for her. So we have come to the end. We have come to the end of the session. We have other questions, but I know you told me that you have another assignment to attend to. So that's why I don't want to delay you. So we've come to this session, and I would like to thank you so much, Ma, for being so honest, being so real, and being so patient in answering all of these questions. Thank you very much, Ma. We are so nice. We're so glad to have you. Thank you. So before you leave, Ma, I would like to call on all SQI staff present here today to please step forward so that we can have a group picture with you, Ma.
All SQI staff.
SQI staff present here today, please step forward, whether you're at the back or here in the media. Everyone, please step forward so we can have a quick photo session.
I would like to have Temi too. Temi, if you'd like to come, so that your internship starts from here. Okay. Can we spread out? Can we remove that? Let's remove this quickly.
That's all. Good afternoon, everyone. All this talk about food is making me hungry. it's almost time for lunch, so just to quickly round off, a couple of things that I'd like to do. One of the things that we consistently emphasize with our students at SQI is that beyond the skills that you're learning, it's important that you're able to put those skills to use. Abi now, after learning skill, what's the essence if you don't, get jobs with it, right? And make money with it, make dollars with it. So one of the ways by which we do that is from time to time we post on the community, we post on roles, we post about some of our alumni that have roles for some of the students, right? And then we connect it together, you send your CVs, and then we get you roles. Another way by which we know that we can do this effectively is by you showing your work and showing exactly what you do to the world. One of the things that I've come to realize is that let them come and learn from us, and let them learn these ICT skills that you've heard of so much, and let them be greater, with what they do. So rounding off, Miss Mercy, are you ready or should I? All right. So I'd like to say a big thank you to every single person. We spent quite a little bit over 2 hours. Thank you very much for joining in. A round of applause for yourself. It's not possible for us to be here without you, so we are glad that you're listening, we are glad that you're learning, we are glad that you're taking notes. Thank you to the Ibadan campuses, Dugbe Iworo Challenge. Thank you to the Oshogbo Thank you to the Oshogbo campus. Thank you to the Abeokuta campus. Until the next time, let's keep implementing some of these things that we learn. Have an amazing day ahead. Thank you so much. Classes continue. Bye.
Olamide Alawo Akala is a beacon of entrepreneur spirit and agribusiness acumen. Born on July 1st, 1983 in Lagos, Nigeria, Olamide has cultivated a diverse and impactful career spanning authorship, motivational speaking, and agricultural innovation. Her educational journey began at the Home Science Association in Ikoyi, where she completed her primary education in 1992. Olamide's thirst for knowledge led her to the Federal Government Girls College in Oyo State, from which she graduated in 1999. She then acquired a diploma in law from the University of Jos in 2002 and further honed her academic prowess by earning a BSc in sociology from Bowen University in 2007. Her pursuit of excellence continued abroad, where she obtained an MSc in Human Resource Management from the University of Salford, England in 2009. In a continual quest for knowledge, Olamide recently completed a certificate course in Constructive Strategy at Harvard Business School online in 2023 and is on track to complete a PhD in International Agribusiness by 2025. She's an executive board member and audit committee chairman at Uduje Microfinance Bank since 2011, and her tenure as chairman of TDB Global Ventures with TDB Farms as a subsidiary ignited her passion for agriculture, leading to the founding of Imera Farms in 2020. Olamide is also an accomplished author of The Rich Christian in 2023 and Nice Strategies Business Startup